Have you ever noticed that the closer you got to something good, whether it be the promotion, the relationship, the opportunity, you suddenly start pulling away? You stop replying to emails and text messages. You pick fights with people that you love. You procrastinate right at the finish line, or you numb out, you disappear, you scroll, you tell yourself that you'll come back to it later. It doesn't really make sense, right? Like when you really think about it, because this is what you said you wanted. You prayed for this thing, you worked for this thing, you journaled about it, manifested it. But the second that it's within reach, it's like something in you just slams on the brakes. That's what most people call self-sabotage. And in this video, I want to talk about the real reason that you do it. Because once you can pinpoint that, you've taken a really big first step towards changing it. If you're new to my channel or you're new to conversations around the nervous system, my name is Sid Scott. I created this channel to help you slow down and feel more like yourself while creating a life that needs no escape. And my hope is that today's video will do just that. And by the way, so does my last one. So go check that one out after this one. So let's slow this down. When I say self-sabotage, I don't mean blowing up your whole life. I don't even really mean making a choice to make your life harder than it needs to be. I mean the everyday ways that you start to pull back when things start moving forward in the ways that you want. Like you finally start talking to someone who's amazing, and the moment it starts to feel real, you ghost. Or maybe you're on track with your health and your fitness, but right before you hit that significant milestone, you binge or you skip a week. Or maybe you're in business, right? And you land the client that you've been wanting, but for whatever reason, you start dragging your feet on the delivery. And for an analogy, it's like you start running a race, and right as you see the finish line when you're about to break the tape, trip yourself and fall flat on your face on purpose right before you cross. Now, you wouldn't actually ever do that intentionally, right? And that's the thing. We don't actively choose to sabotage ourselves in this way. So why does it happen? Because you and I have what's called a nervous system, and your nervous system isn't wired for what you say that you want. It's wired for what feels familiar, and familiar equals safe. And even if familiar is underwhelming or quite frankly sucks, or even if familiar is under earning and being overworked or being in situationships that go nowhere. And that's because, again, your body isn't scanning for good or bad. It's scanning for known or unknown. And when something good starts to show up, your body doesn't celebrate, it freaks out if that good is unfamiliar. And unfamiliar ultimately feels dangerous. Now, I've been coaching women for the past 4 years, so I want to share with you some of the examples of how I've seen this play out with clients that I've had over the years. So maybe she finally gets a call back from her dream job, or finally gets an answer back on like a big, bold proposal. It's what she had ultimately been hoping for, but instead of preparing, she procrastinates, and then she starts to convince herself on how she's underqualified, and then she either bombs the interview or like sabotages the deal. Or another one that I've seen is she'll meet a partner who treats her with respect, who calls when they say they will, who shows up on time and shows genuine interest. And instead of leaning into that, their chest starts to tighten and get uncomfortable around them, and they start nitpicking things. And they ultimately sabotage the relationship before it even has a chance. That's why they come to me to stop doing that. What I've also seen is there'll be an entrepreneur who hits her best month in sales, and then the next month, she just disappears and just falls off completely. She stops posting, she stops doing the same things that ultimately created the success, and that's just basically just avoiding their own success. And in every single case, and in every scenario where this happens, the problem isn't that they didn't want it. The problem is their body didn't feel safe holding it. Think about where you learned what normal is for you. Okay, if chaos was normal, then calm feels suspicious. If struggle was normal, then anything ease feels undeserved. If being overlooked was normal, then attention feels overwhelming. If relationships with the people you loved meant rejection, then love feels unsafe. So when these good things finally show up, the nervous system scans them like a foreign language. That's how it registers. It doesn't trust it. It doesn't know how to hold it. It doesn't know how to interpret it. And because your body's number one job is to keep you safe, it pulls back into what it knows, even if what it knows is painful and you don't want that anymore. And that's the real reason you self-sabotage before things get good. So just slow down with me here for a second. Think about an area of your life where you've been praying, you've been working, you've been hustling, doing all the things. What happens right when it starts to click? Do you distract yourself? Do you disappear? Do you pick a fight? Do you numb out and disappear? That's not you being lazy. That's your nervous system defaulting to safety and what's familiar. Now, let's actually talk about how this shows up, because it's not a one size fits all, okay? Your nervous system has a couple of favorite sabotage buttons that it likes to hit, or moves it pulls. There's 4 of them in total, and I'm gonna break each of them down. Okay, the first one is the overdrive sabotage. So you finally get the breakthrough and your body says, work harder, add more, don't stop moving, okay? So instead of actually just receiving it, you bury yourself in busyness to the point you're too exhausted to even enjoy it. Now, number 2 is the control sabotage. You hit the milestone and then your body says, okay, now tighten your grip. You nitpick, you overanalyze, you try to control every little thing, and in the process, you suffocate the very thing that you worked for. Okay, now the third one is the shutdown sabotage, where you get close to the goal and then your body says freeze, okay? You procrastinate, you go blank, forget the things that you're supposed to do, and ultimately you lose all of your steam right before the finish line. And the fourth one is the keep the peace sabotage. This is when you're about to level up, like you're right there and your body says, okay, like don't rock the boat. You downplay your win, you shrink so you don't outshine the people around you, and everyone else's needs become so important and you start saying yes instead of protecting your own needs. So drop a comment below. Which one of these sounds most like you? When good things start showing up, which sabotage move do you tend to go with? Now, let's talk about what you can actually do about these self-sabotage patterns moving forward. And moving forward, also, you can refer to them as self-preserving patterns, because self-sabotage isn't a character flaw, it's a survival pattern. And survival patterns, like any pattern, can be changed, it can be updated. Step 1, you have to catch it early. You have to notice when your body starts pulling you back instead of forward towards the thing that you want. Did you just get quiet after good news? Did you start nitpicking when somebody started treating you well? Did you suddenly feel way too tired to follow through on the opportunity that you wanted? That's your flag. Now, step 2. Teach your body safety in success. Instead of just pushing past it, instead of just beating yourself up, you literally have to regulate in the moment. So you have to breathe into your belly. You have to plant your feet on solid, stable ground. You have to relax your jaw. You have to relax your shoulders. You have to unclench, and you have to tell yourself out loud, it's safe for me to hold this. Like, I really can handle this. The third step is you have to slowly tweak and adjust and shift how you respond. The way out of these patterns that your body learns to keep you safe is not like massive, big quantum leaps, okay? It's baby steps. You celebrate the small wins instead of brushing right past them. You say thank you for the compliments instead of brushing them off. Okay, so here's what you do. Stay present with good feelings for 30 seconds longer than you otherwise would, or longer than you're used to. Like, literally tell Siri to set a timer for 30 seconds the next time you get some good news. Take one tiny action to reinforce the new reality of this good news. Okay? Every micro expansion teaches your body it's safe, and we actually can have more of this. And if you forget everything else, remember this one line. I am learning to feel safe keeping the things I've worked so hard for it. Say it when you feel the urge to sabotage. Say it when you notice it kicking in. Say it when the old pattern wants to run. That line is the bridge between survival and expansion, or surviving and thriving. Okay, so let's wrap all this up. The real reason you sabotage right before things get good is not because you're broken, okay? It's because your body confuses familiar with safe. And it would rather hold on to the struggle that's familiar than step into the ease that it doesn't trust or doesn't know. But you don't have to keep chipping yourself at the finish line. When you catch the pattern, regulate your body in the moment. Make a tiny shift in the moment. And you teach your nervous system a new normal. And little by little, that good stops feeling foreign and it starts feeling safe. And that's the work. Not just getting all of the things that you want, but keeping them and actually enjoying them. If this resonated with you and you haven't subscribed yet, consider subscribing. This whole channel is about helping you slow down, regulate, and finally live a life that doesn't need an escape. See you in the next one. And real quick, by the way, if you want to see more shorter videos like this, then go ahead and give me a follow on TikTok. All right, have a good one. See you in the next one.